Good day, everyone. My name is John Finley, and the topic of my paper is government interference causing harm to the economic recovery. Today, I will be sharing with you the failures of the United States government's executive and legislative branches on their inability to work together to resolve simple governmental issues, and whether this failure has led to a slow or weaker recovery from our economy. The first point I'd like to make is the failure of executive and legislative branches to cooperate is continuing to raise the debt of the federal government. The politicians' inability to cooperate has shaken the faith of American corporations and private citizens. Bocchio wrote in How the United States High Debt Will Weaken the Economy and Hurt Americans, because of the government's deficit spending and the associated debt subtracts from the amount of private savings available for private investment, leading to slower economic growth. This weakens investment. Bocchio goes on to say that inflation reduces the purchasing power of the cash savings of American families, inflicting the most pain on the poor and middle class by eroding the value of their rainy day fund. Inflation raises the prices on essential goods and services, like food, clothing, and medical care, and this is particularly harmful for the poor and those on fixed incomes, like the elderly. Higher inflation and longer life expectancies together can mean that some seniors run out of their savings sooner than anticipated, leaving them completely dependent on Social Security. Some may even end up in poverty. Because of the weaker investment from the middle class and poor, social programs will be needed to support the people who are now in the lower economic classes. This will further weaken our already shaky economy because taxes will then need to be raised to support the people requiring these programs. The next point to talk about is the debt ceiling showdown. The debt ceiling showdown 2 years ago led to a downgrade of the credit rating of the United States government. Davis wrote in How the Credit Rating Downgrade Affects the U.S. Economy that the downgrade of the credit rating from AAA to AA plus in 2011 due to the political gridlock caused by Congress and the President of the United States. This will cause the interest rates of money the government borrows to increase, thus adding to the national debt. Adding to the national debt is simply not the answer, ladies and gentlemen. If we continue along this path, it will certainly lead to the ruin of the United States as we knew it. We will no longer be a powerhouse in the world because China, Japan, the United Kingdom, and many other countries in the world will own our debt, thusly owning our financial future. Davis goes on to talk about the faith of investors the United States government debt suffered because of the credit downgrade. He finishes up with, in the immediate wake of the downgrade, equities and financial markets of the world reacted with sharp decline. In the U.S. alone, billions of dollars in the stock market value was wiped out as jittery investors liquidated their holdings, while Dow Jones Industrial Average's prices fell steadily, almost 700 points throughout the initial selling frenzy. The final point I'd like to make today is the automatic reduction in government spending, also known as the sequestration. Sequestration caused most federal agencies to severely trim their budgets. With the trimming came the need to furlough federal employees to make up for the shortfall in revenue. Bogle gives an example, and defense workers receive furlough notices. Department of Defense employees are furloughed for 11 days through the remainder of the federal government's fiscal year that ends on September 30th. While this does not seem like many days, it constitutes a 20% pay cut for the government employees for the remainder of the work year. To give a quick example, this will be $2 wages lost out of every $10 earned. A more dramatic example is $100 lost out of every $500 earned. Not only will the economy suffer where these 750,000 government employees reside, it can also lead to other problems in society. Some will have issues putting food on the table for their families, or possibly paying for extra gas to get to work. Many times when the subject comes up, they speak of overpaid government workers. This is not always true, as many government workers are middle class and live paycheck to paycheck just like everyone else. To lose 20% of your pay will affect how the family lives. The next point is the reduction of the government's ability to conduct business on a daily basis. The government's ability to conduct business on a daily basis has been affected by sequester. Furloughs have caused reduced work hours available in a week. This has caused many government operations to close an extra day each week or reduce services provided to the public. Although many do not believe they do much in a work week, taking 20% of a work week will affect everything from mission-capable fighter jets and warships to the inability to make sure Social Security recipients are paid and benefits processed. In conclusion, it is important to understand the gravity of the situation facing America. We cannot allow our elected officials to continue to act in an irresponsible manner with our money. The government is supposed to be for the people and by the people. The elected officials are sent to Washington, D.C. to represent the citizens who voted for them, not the special interest groups who pay them the most money. Our elected officials are impacting the recovery from the recession by not conducting the people's business as they were elected to perform. This inability for the legislative and executive branches to cooperate and accomplish the people's business has led to a downgrade in the United States credit rating, the weakening of investment, and the sequester, which led to furloughs of the government employees. It is imperative that everyone contact their representatives and urge them to act in a way that benefits all Americans and not just the few with the deepest pockets. Thank you and good day.